Hello, I'd like to learn how to calculate molarity. Now, molarity is a unit for describing the concentration of a solute in a solution. Molarity is defined as moles of solute divided by liters of solution. It is very important to note that it must be moles and it must be liters. If a question does not give you moles or liters, you must convert before using the equation moles over liters. Let's do an example. Determine the molarity of 0.444 moles of cobalt 2 chloride in 0.654 liters of solution. Well, anytime you're doing a word problem that uses an equation, the first step is to always go through and identify your knowns and unknowns. I know the number of moles is 0.444. The volume of the solution is 0.654 liters. I don't know the concentration. We're going to use N for number of moles, V for volume, and capital M for molarity. Once again, my equation is moles over liters. I have moles, I have liters. I don't need to do any conversion, so I can just go ahead and plug into my equation. Taking moles and dividing them by liters. If we do that, we get a concentration of 0.679 molar cobalt chloride. When you're writing out the concentration, we write out the concentration of the solute. We don't worry about writing down the solvent. So 0.679 molar, M stands for molar, cobalt chloride. Let's try a problem where we do have to do some conversions. Once again, we look at the question. We have determined the molarity of 0.2074 grams of calcium hydroxide in 40 milliliters of solution. So we look at what the question has given us. The number of moles is unknown. The question does give us grams, but we don't have the number of moles, so we're going to have to convert to that. The volume, we have it, but it must be in liters. And again, this is not in liters, it's in milliliters. So we need to find for that by converting. And once again, we are solving for molarity. So let's go ahead, do the conversions first, and then come back and solve for molarity. Let's go ahead and use the 40 milliliters first. With the 40 milliliters, I want to convert it to liters, and I want to cancel out the milliliters. So I'll put milliliters on the bottom and liters on the top. There are 1,000 milliliters in every 1 liter. So 40 milliliters is equivalent to 0.4000 liters. Now, I didn't mention this in the last question, but we do need to worry about sig figs here. So this is 4 sig figs. I should also have this be 4 sig figs as well, which is why I have the 3 zeros following this 4, making it 4 sig figs. So my volume is going to be 0.04000 liters. To convert grams into moles, we're going to need to know the molar mass. So we multiply each of the subscripts by the mass from the periodic table. And then add up the results. The total molar mass of calcium hydroxide is 74 0.10 grams. Then I could take my number here in the question I'm trying to cancel out grams and try to get moles. There's going to be 1 mole, because I'm trying to find the mass of 1 mole here, and 74.10 grams of calcium hydroxide. Do that calculation, and I'm going to get 0.002799 moles of calcium hydroxide. So the question didn't give me moles or liters. I need to have moles and liters to use molarity, so I had to convert milliliters by dividing by 1,000 and grams by dividing by the molar mass, which I found off the periodic table. Once I've got these, I can now go ahead, plug in to my equation, molarity equals moles over liters. To get my concentration of 0.06998 molar calcium hydroxide. Because I have 4 sig figs in my mass and 4 sig figs in my volume, my answer should also have 4 sig figs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do one last example here. What volume of a 0.2 molar potassium sulfate solution contains 57 grams of potassium sulfate? As always, start off by identifying what you know and what you're looking for. We don't know the number of moles. This is grams. We're going to have to convert. We are looking for the volume. So that's my unknown. And I am given the concentration here, 0.20. So all we need to find out is the moles of potassium sulfate. So let's go ahead and do a conversion. Got 57 grams here. I want to convert it to moles. So I need to find the molar mass. Go on the periodic table to find that. 2 potassiums, 1 sulfur, 4 oxygens. That should be 16. I skipped ahead a little bit. And then add them up. So the molar mass for potassium sulfate is 174.26 grams. Go ahead and put that in my conversion. And find that I am talking about 0.33 moles of potassium sulfate. Because this is 2 sig figs, my answer would be 2 sig figs here. Now we have the information we need. Go ahead and use the equation. Molarity equals moles over liters. Because I am solving for my liters, I'm going to rearrange my equation. Although you can do it any way you like. And then go ahead and substitute in. It's going to give me an answer of 1.65. Now again, I do want to have the same number of sig figs, so that's 2 sig figs, 2 sig figs. I need to make this 2 sig figs. but it is exactly halfway in between 1.6 and 1.7. So the rules state when it's exactly halfway in between, you look at the number in front of the 5, which in this case is a 6, is even, so I would round down to 1.6. And if I'm getting the volume here with moles and molarity, I'm going to have liters as my unit.